Ejae released a new song a few days ago and I've already received quite a lot of requests for it on my K-pop Demon Hunter videos. At the time of recording this now, I'm not sure when this video will go live on YouTube because of copyright issues. My most recent K-pop Demon Hunters experience was watching them perform Golden live, so make sure you check out that one if you haven't seen it yet. In that video I said it seemed a little bit strange seeing Huntrix, the group from the film, as people, real life people. Well, this is the next step. Ejae is here as herself, as Ejae, not as Rumi, her character in the film. She is Ejae, and this is her own song, In Another World. Oh, I like when they have nostalgic videos.
About space and not the one between us, where we can take 1,000 worries and leave them there. Nothing falls, nothing fades, nothing withers away.
A lot of air coming through in her voice.
I was thinking about space and not the one between us. Maybe in another world, where I own that I'm jealous and I did some damage to us. Maybe we will never know, 'cause the truth is on silent, but our egos are talking loud. You hear where it hurts, 'cause I gave you the bullets. Maybe in another world. Swear there's a world you dealt with your things.
That was a nice little...
Swear there's a world you dealt with.
Like a little drop. We don't yet have percussion drums in there. I'm not sure if we will get any. It seems like quite a calm song. I did look up the lyrics beforehand just to see what type of song it might be, so I know that that was the end of the chorus here. I mentioned her airy voice, and airy voices typically I think are really good at getting through quite a emotional or vulnerable sound. There are some other singers that I react to often on my channel, such as Dimash, and I always say I love his airy voice, and I often show a clip from a song of his. And Ejae is using that to great effect here. Some of the comments recommending this song to me did say that towards the end she moves up in pitch and starts singing very powerfully. So having an airy voice at the start as well creates even further contrast for when power does come through. I'm looking forward to seeing how much power we get, what kind of thing she chooses to do here. As for the song itself, you know, I often like to talk about the harmony, structure, that kind of thing. It's a simple song, but purposefully so. We're not getting many chords at all. I did that at one point, and that's because the bass comes in. Let's find that.
In another world, where I own that I'm jealous and
Bum, 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 bum. You know, it's acting in a sense as the rhythmic underpinning or the thing that's keeping the song moving. Normally that would be the role of the percussion of the drums, but we don't have any of that. We do have some orchestral instruments in the background as well, quite subtle. It's a very soft and reduced arrangement, and it's completely the point of the song, what she's singing about. If I just get the lyrics up on the screen here.
that I'm jealous and I did some damage to us.
The sound is a little bit more powerful now with the bass coming in, for example. And the lyrics at that point, maybe in another world where I own that I'm jealous and I did some damage to us. A bit more conviction in what she's saying now. And I think that ties in nicely to a slightly more powerful sound. As for the music itself, just before we carry on with the second half, because of the overall simple nature of the song, her melody as well does nothing crazy. She's staying fairly low down. Again, we're expecting her to go higher later on. But the piano before the bass comes in is also acting as that kind of rhythmic moving tool. We're getting that at the top, and the bass underneath, it would be down low. But because of my little keyboard here, I'll play it like this. Then moving. And then again. That's a nice chord. We'll listen to that and I'll just get into that in a second.
I was thinking about space and not the one between us.
See how it stops playing there in the right on Between Us. So we've been hearing. This is a dissonance. If we move this bottom note up the octave, that clash between the notes. And then her melody is going on between us. So we get that second chord there on between that she really elongates. Again, if I move all the notes close together, a clash here and a clash here. But it's spread out. Makes it sound a bit nicer. I think it's a very carefully considered dissonance. It's the moment, like I say, when the piano stops doing the cha-cha-cha-cha that we've had for the whole song so far. She elongates that note. It is the dissonant note, the note that causes a clash in what we're hearing. Like friction, like the friction of the relationship she's talking about. And final point, we'll carry on after this, just her voice.
Nothing falls, nothing fades, nothing withers away.
So much air, like I said, I really like it. It even cuts out at points completely, then comes back in. And when she's choosing to use straight tone versus vibrato, with such an airy voice, and she has quite a quick vibrato, it's almost like a bird fluttering or something at the top up there.
Nothing falls, nothing fades, nothing withers away.
And it's a nice video as well. Empty auditorium, in the round, sheets of music around the piano. That could signify many things. Let me know what you think that means in the comments. Yeah, let's carry on with the second half. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now. It seemed like there was some growth after this pause. Again, contrast now in our ideas of quiet versus loud. I'll be curious to see if we get any percussion. And of course, we're waiting to see what the comments meant, saying that she sings very high and powerfully in the second half.
Swear there's a world, you dealt with your things, I dealt with my things. Know there's a place when we're offbeat, we're finally in sync. Where I feel okay and I feel no pain, and all my resentment got nothing to say. Before everything changed. Maybe in another world where I own that I'm jealous and I did some damage to us. Maybe we will never know, cause the truth is on silent, but our egos are talking loud. You hear where it hurts, cause I gave you the bullets. Maybe in another world. Thinking about space and not the one between us.
I like how we get the very raw sound.
One between us.
At the end there, gives it a very human touch. Right, well, the obvious part is that shift up. After we got that pause. You know what, let's talk about that first. So the music had been growing up until this point. And now it's stopped. Even though it doesn't sound like there's much going on in the background, there's this weird kind of reverby sound. And these sounds that we hear, they do have pitches. They are actual notes, but they're just so many of them clumped together in such a way that it kind of just sounds like generic noise. There's just some of the many notes that are in there. Old nostalgic video dropping out. We know something big is coming, right?
Maybe in another world.
straight tone all the way through, power, and then a bit of that very, very rapid vibrato of hers coming through. I'm noticing more in this song than perhaps in K-pop Demon Hunters, because there was just a lot more going on in those songs in general. Her vibrato style, we all have different styles. Some people's vibrato, the wobbles, essentially between two notes very, very quickly. That's what a vibrato is. For some people, it's a very slow vibrato, like a ooh, but much quicker, of course. And for other people, it's very, very quick. If you think about a real coloratura operatic soprano type sound. But then there's also the actual alternation itself. And because vibrato is so quick generally, it's very hard to disattain the two notes. But some people, it just seems like a bigger gap when you hear it. It sounds like a very intense. Hers is the complete opposite. It's like a flutter. It reminds me of birds, little birds fluttering. And we can really hear it there, like towards the end of that note.
We're all that I'm jealous and I did some damage to us.
And I like that there's a little bit of grit coming through in the sound. It's not a purely clean, straight voice sound. Again, it gives it a human touch, and in a way, it makes it sound a little bit fragmented or pained in a tiny way, which I think really complements the lyrics of this song. You know, the struggles of a relationship, of love, that kind of thing. In another world, dreaming of what could be, but it's not, because this is the reality, and reality is not always perfect. How high is she singing?
We will never know, 'cause the truth is unsilent, but our egos are
Really high. For a kind of comparison that I like to make in my videos, we have this note here, a major third below where she is. And this is what I call the wow operatic tenor moment. When someone sings that high in chest voice, it's high. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, that's high. For chest voice, she goes higher, of course, but she makes a very exaggerated switch into the head voice. Again, this idea of contrast, which we seem to be getting quite a lot in this song.
talking loud. Yeah.
So she goes, that interval is as close to an octave as you can get, but just slightly underneath, and therefore really difficult. Switching from chest voice to head voice like that, in a way, is kind of a bit like yodeling, just on a lesser scale, but that is what yodeling is if you strip it down to its core. And how high is that? Well, that top note there, top A, that's the highest note your chorister would typically be expected to sing. So again, very high. She also sung low down earlier on, so we're getting a big range in this song as well, just like we saw in Golden.
I was thinking about space.
And then back down to the soft section to end with. She just sung down here. So in this song, 1 octave, 2 octaves, and a fourth. Really big range for a single singer in any song. That section is different because it's volume, it's power. She's moved up in pitch. Let's go to from where we carried on after the pause, about halfway through.
Swear there's a world you dealt with your things I dealt with.
Things are different now because her melody, it's becoming a bit more repetitive, and repetition, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 notes that are repeated, it's very catchy, right? We hear it once, we can sing it back immediately. We don't need to remember different intervals and stuff. You know, we can all do that. The rhythms are changing. It's becoming a bit more speech-like, a bit more free, really.
With my things. Know there's a place when we're offbeat, we're finally in sync.
Where we're offbeat, we're finally in sync. Offbeat, in sync, it just suits the lyrics really well. Her melody, which previously was very regimented, now seems a little bit offbeat and a little bit out of sync. That lyric there, immediately when I heard it, just kind of jumped out to me.
I ain't got nothing to say before everything changed.
We're still getting at the top, which is causing dissonance, like we pointed out before, as the chords underneath change. Here, the lyrics, she's talking about everything changing.
Before everything changed. Maybe in another world where
And things have changed a little bit. The sound is just that little bit bigger. The drop that we get into that kind of helps, of course, but the change isn't massive. And again, that's really cool because the suspense, even though it's a very calm song, and because people told me that something big comes at the end. Yeah, the suspense was just building and building, which I think is cool. Overall, I think it's a nice song. Like I said before, it's not too complicated. It's not crazy complex. It's got its soft, calmer moments. It's obviously got the larger, louder, triumphant moment. I think this is a song that people can listen to multiple times, and it's very, very easy listening. You know, it's a nice song. It's not too intense or anything. It won't make you become introspective and depressed. Very straightforward and to the point, and I think the video is really nice as well. Well, there we go, Ejae as Ejae, not Rumi. I'm sure she will have many more songs and videos to come. Thank you to everyone who suggested this, and if you enjoyed this video and made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Would really appreciate you helping out the algorithm to push my video out to others. You can do that by leaving a like or writing a comment. Suggest other videos you'd like me to do, and if you don't want to write any words, then let's go for an emoji. I think let's just go for a piano emoji like you see on the screen for this one. Thank you once again, really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.